You know how Spotify does a
I'm listening to. I'm trying to
a
put the
rap,
iPad on the.
Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
Apparently, FanDuel now does it.
Does
So
it now?
it just popped up and it said, here's what did you bet most on this year?
Oh, I got an email from them today about
I would like you to take a guess at what team I bet on the most this season, this year.
Appalachian State.
That's incorrect. Give you one more guess, but it is a football team.
It is a football team. Is
Yeah,
it? Am I allowed to are we playing? Should we save this for the next couple minutes? We'll put the thing on and then we'll do it.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. We are live on Instagram. Saying that all of our 0 people watching us on Instagram.
Live on the gram. Let me stop fidget spinning because you're going to be able to hear it the whole time.
Welcome, episode 380 Sndpodcast show. Vin's fidgeting away with his fidget spinner. It was kind of funny. We were both fidget spinning when we both
We were
came
both
on.
fidget spinning and we didn't know it. It's a couple boys with some anxiety. That's all. Fidget spinning away.
It's crazy. It's really crazy when you think about how many stupid things you and I do at the same time without acknowledging it until it actually happens and we realize we're doing this at the same time.
If they didn't lose 7-0 last night, we would have showed up both fidget spinning with the same hat on. Just kind of what happens.
I need to find that FanDuel email. Look back at your 2023. Is that what it is?
Yeah, when I opened the app, it was the first thing it gave it to me. And it's not big. It just...
Oh, I got it in an email.
I'm looking at it on the app. It says what your most bet on teams, your most bet on sports, your biggest payout, and the longest long shot you had to win.
Yep, I have that right here. All right, you go first, Finn. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Remember, this is just FanDuel. We have problems where we use other apps too.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to start with? Okay, longest. I don't know. I'm wondering what this
long
is.
shot. What was your long shot?
My long shot was a plus 719.
I will tell you this: on FanDuel, I used a lot less this year. I used DraftKings a lot more this year.
I switched mostly to FanDuel this season.
My longest shot here is 438, but I guarantee you, if DraftKings did this, I'd have one in the 900s.
It was probably a parlay. I don't know when. A few weeks ago,
it's a whiteout in Cleveland.
A few weeks ago, I hit two, back-to-back weeks. I hit 2 4-leg parlays that turned into 3-leg parlays because one team pushed. But I hit them both, so it was probably one of those. Anyway, the team that I bet...
Why is Joe Flacco not walking with the giant speaker is my question.
With the what?
I don't even think one of the Browns guys has a giant speaker, and Joe Flacco is not holding it. I'm kind of disappointed.
He's not about that. So I most bet on football, then baseball, then hockey. That makes sense. I don't really watch basketball. The team I bet on the most...
Football, basketball, hockey are my most bet on sports.
Okay. I don't know. This has to be recent. Number 1, the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I don't think I thought the lines maybe didn't catch up to them recently with the way CJ was playing. Texans, Bengals, Chiefs. That's the top 3 that I most bet on.
Okay. I'm going to tell you my first 2.
Okay.
Bills and Lions.
Okay.
Now, are you ready for this one?
Is it a basketball team?
It is not. But this is an intriguing one based on this week's events coming up.
Oh, boy.
Alabama.
Very interesting. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good, because I'm going to go put some money on them to win this week anyway, so it's okay.
You can't do that.
You know exactly what I'm doing that, Vincent.
No. There's no reverse psychology when it
I'm the
comes to the
meme.
playoffs.
I'm the meme guy.
There's no reverse psychology when it comes to the playoffs. You either lose or you lose. That's it.
Joey Votto just sent out a tweet.
Oh no.
You ready for this? Then we'll go back to. We can go into hockey and wait for Danny to join us for the football. For college football.
Yeah.
Joey Votto tweet says, being a free agent is like that scene from Gravity where Sandra Bullock detaches from the Explorer. You are all alone. No one is answering your calls, and you don't know if you'll get back to base. Your only hope is George Clooney saving you. Save me, George.
Okay. I like.
No, I've
Joey
never
Votto.
seen this movie.
Okay, so
I'm
the
all in on
movie,
George Clooney saving me.
the movie is Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are essentially. It's the whole movie is that the two of them in space, pretty much, and exactly what he says happens. They get broken apart somehow, and
Separated.
she's like floating in space.
And presumably dies unless Wandu, what was his name? Wandu in Guardians of the Galaxy comes and puts the light thing on her.
I think she's in a suit, but she lands on a planet, I think, and survives.
Okay. Anywho.
I have some bad news for Joey Votto.
George Clooney dies.
No. When you're still good, people call you when you're a free agent. I don't think anybody wants Joey Votto anymore. Unless you're the Reds.
If you're in camp, I'm going to hypothetical. Okay. Mets camp.
No.
I'm hypothetical thinking. And you're like, hey, we can use a vet. And you call Joey Votto and say, hey, we need a DH. But there's a good chance that in like the third week of April, we're going to put you on the injured list and you're not coming off it. You're just going to be on our bench all season. You're basically going to be a designated coach without actually being a coach. So we can kind of hope. Because he's the type of guy you want in your locker room where he could be a good coach eventually.
The last time we did that, it was Jose Reyes, and he never left.
Well, that doesn't count.
The last two seasons, Joey Votto.
Fairness, Jose Reyes' hamstrings still are injured from Ray Ramirez, so
that's true. Has played just about a full season. He played 91 games in 2022, 65 games last year. That's roughly 162 games. It's a little less. He hit around 200 for no power. He actually hit for a little bit of power. He hit 26 home runs, 25 home runs over those.
Okay, so tell me right now who's the DH on the New York Mets? DJ Stewart.
At the current
He's going to have
moment,
to play the outfield because we clearly don't want to sign anybody to play the outfield.
Well, there's plenty of time here for Justin Turner to come to his senses, and you know what? I apologize to Joey Votto.
Hello, Costa Rica.
We're international now.
We're going international. We're like Pitbull.
I think that's it. I think I'm done for the night.
You know what would have made that better? If we both had shots of Fireball.
Everything would make Fireball makes a lot of things better.
We just randomly yell Fireball after saying Pitbull's name and without knowing.
Speaking of Fireball, this is just alcohol related. I don't think you have because you're a reasonable person. But have you ever bought an alcoholic drink at the UBS?
Yes.
Like a mixed drink?
Oh, the alcoholic ones? No, I usually just drink Kayla's.
Got it. No, because I bought one yesterday. And she was like, she was like, do you want a double? I was like, no, just give me a single. She gives me a double's worth of alcohol in the single cup and then just pops a shot of Coke into it. And I was like, well,
that's like the
I appreciate it.
they have that lemonade stand at City Field, right? The alcoholic lemonade. And they're
Okay.
like, "Do you want a single or a double?" And you're like, "Make me happy."
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're pouring the bottle over the
Oh,
lemonade cup
yeah.
into the little measuring cup, but really they're missing the measuring cup.
They pour it into the measuring cup and let it overflow, and then dump the measuring cup in.
Right.
They're very look. It was very
But the
nice of her
problem with those but the
to give me
problem
a
with it,
double in a single cup, but it was just well, it was a lot. It was just a cup
the re
of rum.
the real problem there is also at City Field, they have the lemon at the bottom, which takes up most of the cup. It's like a cup of
Yeah.
ice and lemon.
I just stick with the like Jim Beam drinks.
No,
in
that
my
one's
hand.
actually pretty good, though. I haven't had the Jim Beam one. The vodka one's pretty good. But so you get, like, a black cherry vodka,
Sounds good.
$20. It's basically a stronger White Claw.
Maybe I'll get that opening day. We'll change it up. We'll change
That'll change the whole season around.
change it all up.
What's going
Daniel,
on? What's
we
up?
need
Hey
your
boy,
opinion.
looking fresh
off-
with the new camera.
Thank you.
First
What's
off,
going on?
Daniel, say hi to
Hey.
Costa Rica.
Say hi.
Yeah,
to Costa
actually,
Rica.
yep, I know him.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you? You been to
Yeah,
Costa Rica?
he-
You can go into Costa
he's,
Rica a lot, Danny?
Hanging out in Costa Rica during the
Yeah,
week.
no, he's a friend on Twitter and Instagram. He likes the Giants, and he asked me how to become a podcaster and what we should do. So pretty
And
cool.
he
guy.
likes the Yankees?
Oh, where'd you
Well-
get that notion from, Vin?
Well,
Genius.
very nice guy. Wished me a Merry Christmas. So
You know what?
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz
Merry
Navidad.
Christmas to and Happy New Year to Costa Rica.
So what's
Daniel.
going on? What's up?
So Joey Votto wants George Clooney to save him.
What?
I
Don't ask.
it really
Joey
couldn't have been
Votto needs a job.
any
or
clearer, to
something
be
do.
completely honest. Joey Votto thinks free agency is like the movie Gravity, where
Okay.
he's lost floating in space and he needs George Clooney to save him. And I
Oh.
responded by
So
saying,
basically, he's Sandra Bullock.
free agency is not like that when people want you. And
Yeah.
but it turns out Joey Votto essentially just decided to swing for the fences the last 2 years because he
What
can't
else
really do
was
anything
gonna
else.
He was like the
I
ninth
mean,
ranked player on the
I-
team.
I could see him going to. I could see him going to the. I could see him going to like
Dodgers.
the Blue Jays and well them too. I could see him
But if-
going to the Blue Jays and be the country hero and be done with it.
Sure, but if you're them and him, why don't you just stick around for cheap and just be like, things are sort of getting good now.
Or there's got to be some sort of coaching front office
Sticking
spot for
around.
him in Cincinnati. Like,
I would
Right.
think. You know,
Someone-
they got that shortstop who's fun.
welcome back to America, James.
He's back.
Hi, James.
Well, what's going on there, Pops?
This lady's standing in a red circle. Anywho,
Not sure what that means.
I don't know. It was weird.
Danny.
I was watching the game.
You've been using FanDuel a lot lately?
Yeah.
Did you
Did
get
you
the
get
email?
that like what you bet on in 2023 thing yet?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I can't wait to tell Danny my top 3 teams.
Giants.
Wait,
hold on.
Danny hasn't won a lot of money.
No, I was like picking unders and stuff.
Oh.
And the playoff run counts last year.
Yeah, that's true. That was
See,
January.
Danny, I don't have the guts to bet on my team.
I know I usually short them or like they'll lose by 10 points, so they'll cover and like short Saquon like 40 yards, like
Right.
BS.
Like I
Something
probably
stupid
made
like
about
that, yeah.
$50. Again, I don't bet much. I bet like $10, but I probably made double my money betting the Islanders to blow their leads recently.
It was see. All right,
But
so I'll tell
Against
you. Hold
them,
on.
sure. For them, I can't do it.
Giants, Knicks, Lions,
Lions.
Football,
Okay.
basketball, and baseball. I've used 30 boosts. My biggest payout was $72, and
Okay.
my long shot was $9.45.
$9.45.
Like I
That's
said,
pretty
I
I
was
must've
using
been one
like
of the-
DraftKings. I was definitely using DraftKings a little bit more towards the end, especially this fast football season. So That's why my numbers are more. But Danny, you ready for my top 3 teams?
Yeah, and that was probably a college. Remember when I was really hot on my college parlays?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was probably
that's probably one of those.
Okay, so my teams, Danny, is the Bills Lions.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get excited for this one. Everybody
ready.
heard it earlier. Was the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You got to stick with it.
You gotta stick with
That's
it.
how you make money.
What's
the spread?
Putting everything in my savings on them this weekend.
Well, I took the money line like a month ago when I told you to do that, Vince. So
me?
You know
yeah,
what's funny? I think I only put like one game on them, and it was like the comeback against Auburn. Like when they were down like 4 points at halftime, I put them to win the game. Then money line to win.
Saying that.
Definitely did.
Okay.
It's okay.
Do they have
right? Elijah Moore is a Brown.
He is a Brown now.
Yeah,
it's a
Jets,
rivalry.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
No.
Do they
Elijah
have
Moore comeback
odds
night.
for the games yet? Where the hell are
They did. I got it like a month ago.
Yeah.
They've had odds since they
plus
won.
One, yeah. I
Like
got Alabama
for
plus.
Bama, I think right now.
Yeah, I got Alabama plus 100 when the Lions first came out.
I think Bama
what did you get them even
minus
like,
a point and a half was the last thing
straight
I heard.
up?
Yeah, straight up money line. They were like
they're plus 108 now to win.
Oh, actually went all right. That Portnoy probably screwed it with his $1 million bet.
Right, Michigan's minus 1.5.
Michigan's minus 1.5. Texas
which they
is
should theoretically be because they
should be the favorite. They're the higher seed.
Danny, tell me why Washington isn't going to get blown out.
Because they're very scrappy all season long.
And they play real teams.
Texas. They
play real teams all year. Like they beat Oregon.
This game's going to be good.
That one, I'm actually looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I like Penix and I like their wide receiver a lot.
I like Texas.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good game. We've seen Texas play a lot. We've seen them play really well against a lot of teams, and we also saw them have a big letdown against Oklahoma. So, and then
it's intriguing to see.
Washington has been playing. They played lights out basically all season long. So,
you know what my biggest problem with this year is that like there's not an intriguing championship matchup, no matter where it goes.
Yeah, they screwed that up.
In my opinion, like if you had Michigan and Bama in each other game and there was a chance they play each other in the championship game, there you go. Your championship games are the semifinals.
You don't think Texas versus one of them is intriguing?
If Texas wins,
I think it's intriguing either way.
If it's a Texas-Bama rematch, that's an intriguing match because can Texas do it again in a neutral stadium?
And you also have two blue bloods Texas
regardless. Yeah, you get two blue bloods. If Texas wins, you get two, old times. You could dig up some, I don't know.
Yeah, the juice will be there. And then Washington, it's the whole last Pac-12 participation in the college football. So that will be a storyline.
The worst this past week was the comparison of, the last time the Lions won the division, Michigan won the Rose Bowl. And I was like, I don't care about 1993 unless we're bringing back the big patches.
Right. So, but with Washington,
62.5 is the over-under.
With Washington, they've been good all season long. I don't think you're not going to get a TCU like you did last year because no one's Georgia this year.
They just didn't impress me in that Pac-12 championship game, to be completely.
I mean, to be fair, that is a tightly close type of game all season. So, but the games they did open it up against a bunch of teams that I watched this year. So, but they're not TCU from last year. They're not Notre Dame.
Weren't they big on Oregon and then started a letdown, almost let them back?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. Maybe
they only put up 15 points against Arizona State.
Yeah, they definitely have had their moments of stinging, but
they're a team that either puts up a ton of points or a team that puts up no points. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
they beat Oregon State by 2.
Well, that was a rivalry game. Well, not a rivalry. That was a road game. No,
Yeah.
that was a road game.
It
Though.
was a road
They
game.
went to
They beat
Arizona
Washington
when
State
Arizona
by
was
3 at
ranked.
home.
They went to Arizona
Yeah.
when Arizona was ranked and beat them by a touchdown, 31-24.
Yeah.
They went to Stanford and beat them by a
Well,
touchdown, 42-33.
Yeah.
They went to USC and only won by 10 points.
Yeah, they're a tough, close team, so we'll see.
They are playing close games. I don't know.
They'll muck it up, but Texas is obviously good, but it's not like they're playing Georgia or Michigan or.
They have a shot. They have a really good opportunity. Both teams have an opportunity to win that game.
Yeah,
Washington's going to win because
I just
I'm
need to
betting
get to
on
5
Texas
o'clock on Monday.
right now.
right.
Just need to get to 5 o'clock. The biggest thing in my mind this whole ideally month has been the history of Harbaugh in a month.
See, that's the
Harbaugh
one
with
I'm
that month
scared
thing.
about is the opposite with Saban.
See, again, yeah, you're never worried about Nick Saban and having this time. Like, he already game planned for the
You know what's
playoffs in October.
funny? When did we stop?
Damn, I wanted to bet Jerome Ford touchdown.
When did we stop asking about Saban going to the NFL? When did that happen?
When he left the Dolphins in the middle of the night.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But that was also 2007.
right. It's
And also
two dynasties.
Alabama knocked on the door. It's not like LSU was begging for him back, right? That's where he was before that.
Yes,
He was at LSU, right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
it was at Michigan State, LSU, and then
we
Right.
talk
it's
about
not
Harbaugh.
Like, it's not like LSU called him and was like, "Hey, we miss you, coach. Can you come back?" It was Alabama, one of the best in history.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same situation. Saban was at LSU. That's a top
won a
school.
championship with them.
Won a championship. Went to the NFL. It didn't work.
Did Marcus
back.
Russell?
No.
I think the Jamarcus.
No, he wasn't there for Jamarcus.
He might have.
He was already in the NFL with Jamarcus.
Okay.
Let's Google it.
I'm
I
doing
could
it.
be wrong.
While Ben keeps going on his point, I'm going to Google it.
My point is, he came back to Bama. He went to Bama,
Right.
and there was never. He had all the success at Bama, and there was never. Is he coming back? Really, seriously, there was never.
Because he's always Bama gives him everything he wants, and he's like, "I'm not leaving. Why am I leaving?"
So
I'm the
why are
greatest
we doing
coach
this
of
with
all time."
Harbaugh every offseason? Because it's the same thing. He was at a
Because
small.
he's still
school.
young. He's still young.
He's still youngish, and we saw him actually have success in the NFL.
That's the difference. The success. In
Saban's
the NFL.
never really had the success.
No,
Well, obviously, he took him to the Super Bowl, and they went to a deep playoff run the year after. So,
okay, that's the
Yeah,
difference.
he was
It's
with
the NFL
Jamarcus.
success.
it was with
But
Marcus
still.
was 2003 to 2006 at LSU, and Saban was there from 2000 to 2004.
Oh, okay.
Saban was also part of that 93, whatever it was,
Michigan
Browns
State
team. The Belichick.
Oh, yes.
The Belichick
Yes.
one, yes.
Yeah,
he
he
was
He
the
was
the
the
defensive
defensive
coordinator.
coordinator.
Yeah.
So
They had a big 30 for 30 on that, or NFL Network.
Yeah. No, it was 30 for 30. I believe it was a 30 for 30. The what if I told you the
Yeah.
Browns could have been like the best could have had
They
like the greatest
they were on a roll, and then they're like, "No, by the way, we're moving to Baltimore," and then the
everything
whole-
fell apart.
Peace.
So yeah, they went.
So you
looking-
mentioned Harbaugh in the NFL, right? So I
Right.
shared with you guys the contract offer that's on the table. Rosen said it the best when I sent him the same article. The thing has an agreement that for the 2024 year, he's not allowed to talk about the NFL. Okay, so next year, January 1st, gets what conversation is going to begin again.
Right.
It's going to
So
be a
it's basically just
conversation.
Like,
But
this
if you
is an
sign a
every
10-year
year
deal for
thing.
that kind of money, you're kind of like saying, I'm
He's
here
staying at-
unless you blow me on the water.
This is like the 5th year he's pulled this, so and he gets money almost every time he does it.
Right.
So it's a good play on his agent, and it works every time.
But
so.
He is his agent. He doesn't have an agent.
Well, he does it himself then.
Yeah.
This is just me.
It was one of like those
personally.
big things I heard about.
But last year was the closest because he did have the interview with the Colts.
right.
There
And
was-
then I was
last
looking at
year-
it the other side, right? Of all the teams that are So this is the way I look
But
at
to
it,
be
right?
fair, he did play for the Colts, so the Colts it was like a solid.
It was, and
The
there was
other
also
the other years he never actually went to an interview, if I remember correctly.
there was
He
not
did
a
a phone
team.
interview a couple years. He did like the COVID year phone interview thing.
Right.
There
with
was
one
not a
of the
team
I
with a
forgot who it
franchise
was with.
quarterback sitting there locked and loaded.
Right.
So I was
Like
thinking
there
about
is now.
this, right?
That's to me. That's the only thing. He's not walking
Chargers.
into a rebuild. He's not going to coach the Commanders.
Right.
He's not going to coach whoever.
We all agree Ron Rivera's done.
Oh, he's been done months ago.
Yeah, that's why I
Okay.
threw them out.
I just want to make sure we're all on the
I
same.
spoke to Rio, and he was done with him literally, like whenever we played them the first time.
Right.
So October.
He's not going to coach the Cardinals.
Might as
No,
well bring Joe Gibbs back for them. So I find the Cardinals the interesting situation. I think they keep their coach at the end of the year no matter what, because you're going to give him a full year with Kyler. But if they struggle out of the gate, he's going to be on a short leash. That's just my opinion on the Cardinals.
I
He had
think
Josh Dobbs, who they had to trade
and they
away,
played hard. They played hard for Josh Dobbs,
and they haven't
so.
played bet, and it's not like they're not in a lot of these games. Yeah,
right. They have played fine. The thing about him is that if he decides to come to the NFL, people fire their coach for him. Whoever the Vikings, they probably wouldn't fire that guy.
No,
right
they
now.
like
Saints.
him.
The Saints would fire that
yeah.
dude in a heartbeat.
Oh
They should
yeah,
fire him anyway.
yeah. Well, yeah. He's a D coordinator,
Atlanta.
and nothing more.
Anybody in the NFC South.
But I'm saying like
Right.
I'm a team.
But that's the
with
thing. Like, if you're going to
an
think
already
about it, right?
pretty good coach, like the Browns would fire that dude in a heartbeat for him.
No, he's gonna win coach of the year.
No,
I
he's
don't-
about
but-
to win Coach of the Year. You haven't had your
The Brown
billion-dollar quarterback all
didn't
year,
like him
and
until,
now you're about to.
He's had a great season.
Yes.
He has.
I think
That
Coach
was
of
a
the Year
bad
is the most intriguing award this season.
Yeah, he's definitely front running though.
Jerry would fire Mike McCarthy to bring him in.
You think
Would he though?
No.
Jerry doesn't even know what college is. He almost drafted a guy because he went to Arkansas.
Now that I'm saying it, I don't know.
I think
I might be wrong about this.
I think McCarthy has another year unless they really, really shit the bed in the playoffs.
If they have oh no, they'd be the 4. If they end up winning the division and losing that wild card week, he's out. There's a good chance he could be out. That would be the scenario.
We're looking.
If he's
Cowboys,
on the road, it's a different scenario.
Cowboys Bucks rematch again.
At the moment?
Yeah, the season.
Yeah, right now they're the 4 and 5.
I mean, that's a cakewalk.
The Bucks have been playing better though.
Also, by the way, mentioned
They
Coach
haven't.
of the Year.
You don't have to tell me.
The front runner should be Dan Campbell.
The
First time that team's
Bengals-
won a division in 30 years.
The Bengals or the Bills would fire those dudes for Harbaugh in a second.
Yes.
Not
That's
the
my
Bengals.
example.
I don't think the Bengals.
I don't know if the Bengals would. The
The
Packers
Bills, yes. The
The
Bills.
Packers
yes.
would not. The Packers
would.
would.
The Packers would.
No,
They
they
would.
wouldn't. They love LaFleur way
7-7.
too much.
And there's the 7-7. Rushing touchdown for Hall.
I think the Bills are the team in my head that if Harbaugh becomes available,
If they
McDermott's fucked
struggle
up
in the
enough where
playoffs
it's
again.
like- yeah.
If they struggle in the playoffs, I can see it. Another interesting name that's going to come about is Jesse Minter, which is the Michigan defensive coordinator. If the team's looking for some sort of young defensive-minded guy, he could be the guy.
This
Top 10 defense in the
Yeah.
country, like 3 years in a row.
well, the Packers need a defensive coordinator, so if he's interested, come on.
We're
down.
not interested. He's not going to. He did that. He was. Funny enough, he learned by being the defensive coordinator for Harbaugh's brother.
Really?
So basically, the last 2 or 3 defensive coordinators that Michigan has had have come from Baltimore, been like their cornerback coach or their linebacker coach.
No surprise there.
So he's kind of, which is interesting to always hear.
Yeah, he was their DB coach, and then he went to Vanderbilt for a season.
Yeah, but at some point he learned from the other.
Yeah,
Harbaugh.
he was
Which
the
again,
Ravens defensive assistant and DB coach from 2017 to 2020.
right?
Also
and then came to
interned
Michigan.
at Notre Dame when he was a child.
He ain't going anywhere.
No, probably not. He's also 1-0 as a head coach.
Well, my opinion's easy. If Harbaugh ends up leaving, the guy who won the Shrevemore, the guy who won the last 3 games of the season. There you go. Congratulations, you're promoted.
Basically.
You keep it in house. You keep it in house unless you go after what's his name, who's being paid by A&M. Who got fired by A&M, Danny?
Jimbo Fisher.
That would be the only scenario where you may say it, but he doesn't need to work ever again.
But you're Michigan, so you could literally pick a name out of the hat, and he'll be a coach at Michigan.
Right.
I just think the obvious solution to that would be, but I also don't see why would Harbaugh leave.
We're talking in circles about this.
Yeah, we all are in agreement of that.
He shouldn't. The only way he would have left is if the struggles early continued, where he couldn't beat Ohio State and he couldn't beat Michigan State and all that. Now that he's got those under wraps and he's got them as a top program, you stay where you are until the sanctions come down and then you leave. And then
that's the only way.
And you know what the crazy thing about it also is, like, you look at the Michigan draft classes over the last couple of years.
Honestly,
there hasn't.
Fuck it. If he gets sanctions,
what can you do wrong in recruiting anymore? Like,
I don't know.
Right.
Sent the guy a glass of milk.
I
offered the guy money. That's allowed.
You technically still can't offer them money and buy things for them, technically, but
right. It's just
okay. So
you gotta do it around.
You're gonna be a legend like how Belichick is. Just stay there. You're already a legend there.
Think about it.
Wins his national title.
If he could win a national title, you can start arguing where he could be Mount Rushmore college coach. Saban.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that. He hasn't had the longevity. Some of the other
the longevity is starting to creep up, but I don't know. I don't see it.
He has this to be his first national championship. You can't throw him in fucking Mount Rushmore.
You got
conversations with one title.
He's not even the greatest Michigan coach yet.
Well, that takes when one guy coaches for 50 years, it's kind of
right.
That's what college football is, man.
Right. My point.
I mean, I don't even think Saban's beaten that guy yet in wins. I think he just recently became the Bama leader.
Right. So.
But again, that means nothing until Tuesday morning.
Pretty much.
If anything. Hopefully another week and a half before I have to care about that.
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy the run.
Oh my God, Joe Flacco almost just threw a pick directly at the.
That was a bad one. Whenever Joe Flacco has to move, things go awry.
Right. It's just funny how they're just like let it rip, Joe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's just basically like a jugs machine back there. Fucking let it roll.
Somebody said it last week to Sanchez. Someone asked whoever the guy who does the play-by-play when Sanchez is calling color was like, "Hey, it's the year of that 35 and older quarterback, Mark. What have you been up to?" And Mark's like, "It's a lot less stress on the body to be a commentator."
Oh, they're wearing the all whites today.
It's all white out,
all greens.
Well, I just put the game on, so.
Yep.
Okay, basically they're just both.
Are you going to the game
running.
on Sunday?
No.
Are you?
No, I gave them away months ago.
The only chance would have been beating the Saints.
Right.
You guys don't want to go see Ty God?
Ty God?
Ty God.
I mean, I didn't know Ty God was going to play when I sold them. So, that's a lie. I was probably expecting Ty God to play.
You were hoping.
So, how
you
about
were calling
this
for
for
Monday night when they won?
No, I was.
Speaking of who the Giants play this week, the Rams.
And
so here's a scenario that I was reading about today of the Lions getting the number 1 seed. Well, as of right now, they own the tiebreaker over the Eagles.
Right.
Okay.
So basically leaves the Niners, who they don't own the tiebreaker over. However, if the Lions win their last 2 games, and the Lions win 2 games, and the Niners lose 1, the Lions would get the number 1 seed.
Correct.
The intriguing part about that is I think the Niners play like Arizona this week, so take that one
No,
off
they
the
play
table.
Washington. They play Washington.
Oh,
then
yeah, that's right. They play Washington
the
this week.
Rams.
And then it's the Rams, I
Rams.
believe, next week.
Correct.
So Matthew Stafford has a chance next week
to knock off,
to
give
put
the
Lions by. Couldn't win a
nuts.
division with them, but could single-handedly help them get a bye week.
So at the
And then
current,
possibly play him in the second round.
Oh,
well, that's
no,
what I'm saying.
Joe.
At the current moment,
And possibly go to Detroit in the second round of the postseason.
Right.
In the current moment, the Eagles are the 2 seed. It says they have a tiebreaker because of strength of schedule. So I guess they didn't play head to head. I thought they did.
They didn't play head to head, but it comes down to. I was reading it today. It comes down to strength of schedule on common opponents. Strength of victory on common opponents.
So at the current moment, the Lions are the 3 seed. The Eagles are the 2 seed. If the Eagles lose a game, which has been happening, and the Lions become the 2 seed, they actually right now they would play the Rams. Yeah. If things hold the way they are, they would play the Rams in the first round. The Seahawks would play Philly and Dallas.
I need a Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff
need
game.
The first playoff game in Detroit in forever to be with Matthew Stafford on the other side.
And on top of it,
so good.
On top of it, I'm going to add to it SpongeBob. That has to be the Nickelodeon game.
I think they would make that the Nickelodeon. I don't know.
No, first game in Detroit's got to be a primetime game. You got to give them either Saturday night or even the Monday night game.
I'm looking at the AFC right now. They would probably make Browns Jaguars, which is the current 4-5 game, the Nickelodeon game.
So Browns versus the AFC
Dolphins.
South.
Yeah, it would be Dolphins, Colts,
Browns,
Chiefs, and I'm sorry, Bills, Chiefs, and then Jaguars, Browns.
And NFC is Lions. Philly, Tampa. No, Tampa, Philly, Dallas.
Yes.
Philly,
Tampa,
Seattle.
Dallas. Yes. And Detroit.
Cream my hunt.
We're just running touchdowns today. Got it.
Only rushing touchdown.
And he missed the extra point. Riley Peterson.
Why?
Kickers are like a mess.
Yeah.
Kickers. Like big Tiki Barber fan, Mason Crosby kicking for the Giants as their 5th kicker.
Right. It makes no sense. And Jamie Gilliam has 2 injuries on his punting leg, and they don't bring a punter in.
Does it matter? What's Brad Wing up to? Bring him in. What is he doing?
What's old?
I would say what Steve Weatherford's doing, but let's face it, we all know he wouldn't pass
Matt Dodge. What's he doing?
He's probably living under. He's probably with Patrick Star
underneath. Matt Dodge does right now.
Matt Dodge is the Keanu Reeves from The Replacements, living on a boat somewhere, trying to avoid being out in the public.
See if we got a.
Where are we now?
Where are we now on him? He is a wealth management consultant and author. That's where we're at right now.
What's the book called? Kick it out of bounds.
So Jair Alexander, crazy guy, huh?
The prophet,
just decides to go on coin tosses and then almost costing them the coin toss. You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
That's what he said. He said, I want my defense out there. And they said, so you want to defer? And he said, I want my defense out there. Yeah, they knew what I meant. Okay, great. Thanks. By the way,
he's going to be
playing Justin Jefferson this week, and you're the highest paid corner in the history of the
now he's not playing Justin Jefferson this week, so it doesn't matter anyway.
They only use Preston Smith to cover Justin Jefferson anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Justin Jefferson needs to get paid just for the beating he took this last week.
Yeah, I don't know. what the hell is going on over 1265 Lombardi Avenue, but there is some.
Yo, you know what
He's a
Jari's
fucking
trying
whack
to
job.
do? He's like, yo, I need them to
But he's
cut
always
me.
been a whack job. You just been winning, so you dealt with it.
Correct. But he's been bad for like a year now.
He's also waiting for. He's sitting back waiting, like maybe they'll cut me, and then Rodgers could be like, "Yo, come on, bro, let's run it back."
I don't know how well those two got along. I'll be completely honest.
Well, let's see. One of them is on Askawaka, whatever it's called, and the other one's a
Ayahuasca.
prophet. So I feel like they can work out pretty well together.
Bumble.
Ayahuasca.
I don't really. I mean, everything with Rodgers. Still,
the Browns
honestly,
got the ball back
confuses
right
me,
after
to
scoring.
be completely honest. I don't know. Like nothing screams more like that he has nobody in his inner circle that will tell him he's being an idiot than everything he says. Like it's just yes men. Everyone he is around is just yes men. Because he just wouldn't be this stupid.
He has a bunch of Johnny Dramas with him.
I blame AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk should be good and cool enough to be like, shut the fuck up and just go play football. That's
He's
my
an entertainer now, so he's not going to do that.
Just doesn't.
He's on a show that they're not allowed to do that, man.
I hardly doubt ESPN.
I feel like he's very doesn't care about the Packers.
Who?
AJ.
AJ doesn't really care about the Packers.
I feel like, yeah, his career was there, but like, he's just like, meh.
Ohio State is where I got my name.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
If it wasn't for Ohio State, I wouldn't have been a fucking Ohio State and my father. I wouldn't have been where I was anyway.
I mean, he's a top. I think he was the 5th pick in the draft.
No.
He 100%
first round, but
he was the 5th. He was the 5th pick. You can look it up.
He was. Wow. I think he was
5th overall pick in the 2006 NFL draft.
It's the highest pick we've had in my life. Is the 5th overall pick, and I mean, I'll be completely honest. He didn't really live up to it.
Well, yeah,
he was good. He was a very solid linebacker. But he was.
Yeah, that was when they were.
Should we go over the list? Should we go over the great list of people you left on the board?
In 2004,
2006.
I went the wrong way. I knew it was around Rodgers is 05. I went the wrong way. Sure.
Vernon Davis.
I mean,
I could have helped.
Yeah.
Dante Whitner, also out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
You would have left Leinart and Cutler on the board probably.
Yeah, well.
So that's
you already had Rodgers
sliding
on the
doors.
bench.
If Rodgers wasn't picked the year before,
right?
Do you pick one of those two the next year?
Right.
That's the and obviously neither of them worked out as well.
Right.
Yeah, Bobby
made the right move.
Cutler's pretty good though. Cutler was pretty good.
Antonio Cromartie.
Okay.
Could have helped with his child support.
That would have been
Santonio Holmes would have helped out a lot.
Yeah, but these guys were all picked in the teens, right?
Santonio was 25.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gone that far.
Gold was 29.
Another Ohio State guy.
Kiwanuka at number 32.
Yeah, okay. See, that they wouldn't. Who was picked above him, though? That's the question.
D'Amico Ryan. Oh, well, the only guy that was picked above him, Mario Williams. Mario Williams went 1. Reggie went 2 to the Saints. Vince Young to the Titans. DeBrickashaw to the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah, DeBrick.
All those guys worked. Reggie, not really. Honestly,
Vince
Mario
Young.
Williams.
I mean, Reggie had a better year. I would put Reggie over Vince.
It's true. DeBrickashaw's really the only one that worked out. Anyway.
So who was in? I didn't even look at the list.
What?
Who made the final cut for the Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame? Who are the
I didn't even
finalists?
look. I had a crazy couple of days. I know Tiki didn't make it, so
I know Tiki didn't make it.
Julius
Which is
Peppers and
bullshit.
Antonio Gates headline the class.
okay, those are automatics.
Should be.
Tiki should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't get what the nonsense is about it. He's one of 3 guys to have what he's done in his career.
What is that?
To have X amount of rushing yardage and receiving yardage. I'm forgetting. It's like Marshall Faulk, him, and someone else.
He stinks.
And they're both in the Hall of Fame, and he isn't. If he just
Pepper.
stayed one
All right,
more
here we go.
year, he would have been fine.
2024 Modern Era Player Finalist.
Maybe next year, I guess.
Eric Allen, defensive back.
Okay.
Jared Allen, defensive end.
Yep.
There's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Willie Anderson, offensive tackle.
Okay.
Many years. Jariel Evans was a Packer at the end of his
Jari
career.
Evans, yeah.
Gary Evans. Wow. Okay.
Dwight Freeney is an interesting name.
Oh, he's getting man.
To me, I mean, I never watched Eric Allen play, but the other 4 are probably eventually get in.
Yeah, Freeney's
Antonio
getting in.
Gates,
100% in.
Layup.
Rodney Harrison.
That,
it's
don't
gonna be
know.
close.
Here's your automatic that should be in. Devin Hester.
This is an interesting one though.
Changed the game. Literally, they had to stop kicking. They had to take away kickoffs because of Devin.
I
Hester.
say yes. I think a lot of people say no.
But yeah, he's the exception to the rule.
He gets in.
He's that guy that, like, again, a game changer. But
Why
again, if you put him in, where's Deontay Hall in the conversation?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now that
You're
he's the
opening
only one.
You're opening the vault
Correct.
of what about Deontay Hall?
Okay,
But I think Devin had a bigger impact on the game itself.
I agree. Why is he
Also,
taking
Dante
this
Hall
long
didn't take the opening kickoff of a Super Bowl for a touchdown.
No. See that moment. Why has it taken this long for Torrey Holt to get in? Torrey Holt should have been in 6 years ago.
Okay, Torrey Holt was the next guy on this list.
What
after him is Andre Johnson.
I think, is that his first ballot?
Maybe.
I believe so.
I feel like it says he last played in 2016. That shouldn't be his first ballot then.
No.
That should have been in earlier too. What are we doing here?
Julius Peppers, I think, is
100%.
in.
They got
Fred
me one this
Taylor. Yeah.
See, this is like the problem now. It's like all these players were good. How you cut off?
Is Fred Taylor a guy who belongs in the Hall of Fame though?
No,
is he good enough to go?
I'm gonna say no.
Next, you have Reggie Wayne. Again, another guy.
To me, that's a yes.
Was he a product of Peyton?
I mean, he was good in Miami.
Wow. Trevor Siemian is terrible at his job. He just threw a pick 6. Next after Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis.
Yeah, but he might
Patrick
be.
Willis.
I say yes, but did he play long enough?
7 to 14. That's less than 10 years.
But those years, he was the best middle linebacker in the game.
He's arguably the best linebacker. Linebacker, not even just middle linebacker. Vin, Patrick Willis,
100%.
And then
other than Ray, he's the best linebacker in our generation.
Yeah. Again, why Patrick Willis retired in 2014? Why does it take this long?
Right.
Almost a decade now.
In fairness to the guys, was it last year or the year before where it was Peyton and Charles Woodson were first-time Hall of Famers? Those two kicked a bunch of guys off the Hall of Fame ballot.
But they don't really care.
You put a bunch of people that were on the fringe.
It's not like baseball where all right, we're gonna only do X amount. They'll have like names for days with football.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Because they spend that whole Saturday doing speeches.
This is how many people did
each guy gets like an hour.
15?
Yeah, 15 finalists.
I like that there's like 12 Hall of Famers here, in my opinion. like Peppers and Gates probably get in now.
Jared Allen.
I would think Jared Allen. I would think the receivers
Yeah.
like Andre and Reggie should get in.
And
Torrey
they'll make a big deal out of Andre because he'll be the first Texan.
Yeah. I don't know. This is weird. Put them all in. Fred Taylor, I probably wouldn't put in. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't put him in. He's
I'm gonna keep
Darren
Fred
Woodson
Taylor.
also. I
Darren
may keep
Woodson's
Darren
right
Woodson.
there.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't put him in either.
If we're gonna be stingy with this group, I'm not putting Darren Woodson in. I'm not putting Fred Taylor in. Harrison is probably the other guy. How many? What do they usually? I feel like they don't just do names forever.
There's got to be a limit.
I think Tiki.
Well, isn't
gets
that why they
into-
announced the old time?
Why else would they do finalists?
Coughlin was
if
on
it
last
fucking
year.
wasn't a
announced
list.
that.
I don't know.
Let's see if they have like classes really quick.
It doesn't even look like Myles Garrett is playing. Like, I haven't seen him once.
Eli's gonna
He
be.
probably
next
figured he
year,
doesn't
right?
have to.
Eli would be next year, right?
Eli is next year.
So
2025.
Jesus Christ, Danny's right. They inducted.
No, that's insane. So
Oh wait, no, the names are doubled up here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
1, 2. So it's like if you look at the Wikipedia page.
One year they had like 10 guys.
Alvin Tomlinson still plays
the
there.
Wikipedia page I'm looking at does it by like breaks it down for how many teams they played for. So like Darrell Revis was 4 people. I didn't realize. Last year was Ware, Zach Thomas, Joe Thomas, Ken Riley. I guess that was a Veterans
Old
Committee
timer,
one.
yeah. Revis.
And then Joe Klecko and Chuck Howley. I think those are both.
Yeah.
Those
Klecko
were the
was.
script writers knew that Rodgers was going to be a Jet, and they wanted the Jets at the
said-
Hall of Fame
Mark
game,
said
so
as-
they put extra Jets in.
Elected first year as a finalist, but not first year of eligibility. Okay, so whatever.
We're just making up.
These are old. Yeah, these are guys that they retired in the 80s. So there was only 4 current era guys. Our era guys that got in last year. 2022,
Okay.
there was none.
Right.
Oh, okay. Bryant Young and Richard Seymour got in. The rest were all old timers. Leroy Butler's relatively recent. Tony Baselli. Okay, so it wasn't. Anyway,
They pick like they try. It seems like they try and
it's
do
like
a
8 or
couple
9
guys
guys
per generation. Like you pick 2 guys or a guy from per generation. You throw them in there. Now, off the Hall of Fame conversation, and in the next couple of weeks we'll do our baseball Hall of Fame before they release that. I think at the end of January.
What a mess that is. As always.
What's going on in Denver?
Madness.
I'm very curious, actually. I get the whole
Not wanting. First off, who puts a guarantee if you fail a physical $37 million? Like, hey, you're hurt. Here's $37 million.
I don't know. I guess that's obviously an insurance thing.
That's what I was
What are
thinking.
they
It's got to be
gonna
like
do?
baseball, right?
What are they going to do with him, though? Even if he isn't hurt, right? The whole point is now he can't get hurt.
Right.
That you can't cut him.
So if you cut him with a pre-sick June 1st release, it's $170 million dead cap.
Yeah. So again,
If you end up trading
can't-
him, it's 82. But if you do one of those posts, designated for June 1st releases, it's a $39 million cap hit this year, 68 next year.
Okay, so that's what you would do. You would take it on the chin.
But designate it not till June 1st. He's not officially free
After
agent until
June
June 1st. But still, why are you cutting him?
Save money.
Okay, so you're going to cut him and take a 30 the same
Yeah,
cap hit.
I didn't say it makes sense. It's obviously Peyton doesn't
It's the
like
same
him.
cap hit whether they cut him or not. If they keep him, it's $35 million against the cap next year. If they cut him after June 1st, it's $35 million against the cap next year.
I don't.
Now,
I
if
don't
they
know.
wait another year, okay, that makes a little more sense. Because then because next year is a $55 million cap hit, and if you cut him pre June 1st, it's 49. If you cut him after, it's 18.
The thing about him is if you trade him, you're gonna have to give up a first round pick at this point for somebody to take this contract.
And also, who's trading for him? Who wants to put him in a third system?
I don't know, Falcons. I don't know. Saints? I really don't. It just doesn't.
Harbaugh, whatever team he goes to in the NFL, goes, I want Russell Wilson.
He's not good anymore, though.
He had a decent year this year before he.
But that's the other thing, Danny. Like, they're saying they told him like 2 months ago, expect to be cut, and then they started winning games.
Right.
And then he decided, oh, maybe I should look good again.
His numbers are not awful.
He's having good numbers this year.
Wrong. I don't know. I just hate him. I hate them both. But also, like, if you're Sean Payton, like, you came back for this.
You literally came back. Right, boys, get on your gambling sites. Pistons are up 12 points on the Celtics with 8 minutes left in the third.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Did you guys see the end game meme? But what did it take? Everything.
Honestly,
for the Lions
if I'm, and no offense to either of you,
they're still 3.5 point favorites, by the way.
I'm giving the Knicks can lose as many games in a row if they want. If somebody else wins the championship,
minus 2.5. How much time's left? 6 minutes.
8 minutes in the third quarter.
It says 6 on DraftKings.
All right, Steven. No, but here's the question.
So excited
because we're not, we're sort of Knicks fans, right? Danny's a bigger Knicks fan. If I told you the Mets are going to win the World Series, but the Islanders had to lose 30 games in a row, would you take it?
Done.
Yeah,
I just want one of my teams to win.
Yeah, I don't really. To me,
I'll take an 0-162 season for the Islanders to win the Cup too.
I don't know if I can handle that. I'll be completely.
I could go a whole.
Well, you're a bigger Met fan.
You're a much bigger baseball guy than we.
But I know 162. I could if they were 40 and 120.
All right. What about a 90 loss season? I would do.
Yeah, but we get that. We get that every couple of years. We don't need to wait for that. We get that every couple of years.
That's what I'm saying. You can give me 120 loss season. They can't just lose every game. That I can't handle.
It'd be funny. You would get to the point where you'd be like, "All right, I'm in. I gotta watch this. We're going for it. We're doing it."
Right. This state, I love the Mets more, so I would rather a Mets World Series.
Right, of course. But I'm like, would you trade a giant 0-16?
No,
I'm gonna say 2-14.
Okay, here's the question, Danny.
I'm too invested into the Giants to go 0-16.
What about 2-14?
Would you take an 0-16 season for a Knicks championship?
I don't know. That's a tough
And
one.
also the biggest star of our generation is about to come out and be the first overall pick for the Giants.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's true. That does. That would be the ideal, honestly.
If the Knicks were to win a championship,
the Knicks win a
title. You got the Knicks about to win a championship. You're going into April. You go into the first week of May. NFL draft's coming. You're about to get the best prospect out of college that we've seen since Peyton Manning.
No, you're getting blown out.
And blown out every week.
Blown out.
And blown out every week just to get that guy. Just to get that guy.
We'll pull the Jets and they'll
Nathan Peterman's playing quarterback.
They'll beat the Rams.
It's not made enough that the Jets just won their way out of Trevor Lawrence.
Not
Just
at all.
won their way out of it.
They went and wasn't that the year the Rams won the Super Bowl too? Was that the year the Rams won the Super
Maybe
Bowl?
the year before.
Or
Might
was
have
it
been
the year before?
I don't
No,
think
it
they
was
had
the year because
Stafford
they were
yet.
in the new stadium.
I thought no, it
And
was
the first
COVID
year in the new stadium was the
Pretty
Super
sure
Bowl.
it was the
wasn't it?
COVID year. No, it was like the second year.
I'm
You
looking
know
up
what the most
20
important statistic that came out of last weekend was, though? Daniel Jones is the only active NFC quarterback to beat Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I
It
said
was
that
the
the other day.
COVID year. The Rams were 10-6. They didn't have Stafford.
That
yet.
was the year they made the playoffs with Goff, and Goff got hurt.
And then they
Goff
beat
hurt
the Seahawks with Goff
Right.
with one hand.
Right,
And then we beat them in the next round.
right.
And then what happened to you the week after that?
That was the Buck one, which was the one that hurts the most.
Yeah,
of
when
all
he
of them.
kicked the field goal.
He
still
kicked the
down
field goal
two-
down 8.
Scotty,
And
what's his name?
Scotty
Down the
Miller
sideline.
called a touchdown. at halftime
Scotty Miller to
because-
end the half.
I
If I remember
because
correctly,
Kevin King
Vincent.
just completely fell
Oh, it was
apart.
Kevin King. I was going to say, if I remember correctly, wasn't it your boy, your prophet boy?
No, it wasn't the
let him go
problem.
back.
no,
It
he
the
was
other
shut
side.
down. He was a shutdown corner. That
He had. I think he picked off Brady twice in the second half of that game.
Yeah.
They just.
No, that was the worst coaching job by LaFleur ever. Being down 8.
That was
let's
the
kick
worst
field goal
coaching job? You mean to tell me the one when they played the Niners like last season wasn't the worst coaching job of all time? Where they didn't put up any offensive points because Rodgers threw
wouldn't
the
say that
ball
was a bad
87 times in snow.
Coaching job. He just stunk.
Yeah.
Did he though?
But I'll never
really-
forget kicking a field goal and wasting all the time to doing that. Still
No.
needing to get an onside kick. That was and having Aaron Rodgers, peak Aaron Rodgers.
That was the moment
as your
Rodgers was
quarterback.
done in Green Bay.
Oh,
I still
100%.
tell
It probably
people
was, yeah.
that was the moment.
See, the thing was, they had their timeouts.
Right.
So that was his. So to me, I'd rather give them the ball at the 5-yard line, needing a touchdown, than giving them the ball at
Exactly.
midfield, needing a touchdown.
You have Aaron Rodgers.
Also, I mean, I can go through this. There was clearly miscommunication because the third down play, Rodgers scrambles and could have picked up 4 yards at least. They were on like the 8-yard line or 10-yard line. He could have picked up half of it on a scramble, but he threw it because he thought he had another down, and then he didn't.
We opened one of those doors, Daddy.
You did. This is we opened the sliding door.
Finn's off this week. He's not going to sleep now. He's going to be going on the highlight reel on this game.
It's so funny that you said Scotty Miller because I watched
this play at this moment.
the highlight of the Scotty Miller thing came up on my TikTok the other day, and I was like, why is this happening? No, but yeah, and then and they kicked the field goal, and then there was a third down where they got called for a pass interference when there wasn't really pass interference, and that's what ended the game. What I was gonna say is, you mentioned the Niner won the next year. They lost that game 10-7 because they got a punt blocked.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad coaching. They couldn't do anything offensively.
Right.
Oh God, the scars.
With that being
See, guys,
said,
it's not always so easy making the playoffs every year because then you get stupid shit like this.
I like
would
Devin's
rather
comment
make
the
the
other day.
playoffs.
Sucker, you're only getting one first-round pick.
Pretty funny, right?
You know what? Knowing them, they're gonna.
Rodgers found another way. You had the easiest path to a first. It's like they literally handed you the first-round pick. He just had to play into like the first week of November.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it.
much. Knowing them though, because
They would
both
have fucked up
their
both
pick,
of them.
no, knowing their pick and the Jets pick are both probably going to be like mid-round. They'll trade them to
Jets will be
trade
early.
up and
Jets
get
should be
somebody
early.
at the end of the first round.
They'll
where
trade
are
up. Jets, I think, are 4. Was the last thing I looked?
Really?
Giants are 5. The Washington's 3. So yeah.
Jets are 1,
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh no, Jets are farther. Jets are 9 right now.
They're tied with the Bears, so I don't know if there's a tiebreaker or whatever.
Strength of schedule is the type.
Right, that's why I said so. Like, the Jets are 9. We're like 14 at the moment. So
We're in the 5th spot.
it's one half of 6 and 1/2 dozen the other second round wise.
And we're gonna lose the next two
Chargers
games
having to play the
anyways.
Chiefs. The Chargers being good last year. Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
we're talking about the draft now. What do the Giants do?
Offensive lineman, either one of the offensive tackles falls to you at 5, or you trading back.
I mean,
You need a right tackle, and you need to tell Evan Neal to shut the fuck up or get lost. To play guard or get lost.
I mean, how much investment do we have to do the offensive line to realize? Hopefully, we fire our offensive line coach first of all.
And special
Secondly,
teams.
special teams, but if there's a quarterback that Joe and Dabes likes, I'm all okay for them to do it.
Okay, so who is that guy?
I mean, hopefully a miracle happens and some way, somehow, Caleb or May are there, and if not, Daniels. And then if we go offensive line route again, which is whatever at this point, because it's not like we don't address it. You go one of those guys Steve mentions.
Okay.
See, I'm also in the thing of you're paying DJ so much money next year. You may look later in the draft at a quarterback. If you don't like those top guys, you may look for a guy 3rd, 4th round to take and be like, all right, you're going to be our bench guy and we'll see what happens.
But we also need to protect ourselves from him coming back from a knee injury and 2 neck injuries as well. So, and we do have the out. So
this mock that I'm looking at has them taking Malik Nambers.
Right, the wide receiver from LSU.
I would take the FSU one.
The question, they also don't have an offensive lineman going until the Jets at 9. Guy from Penn State.
Oh, Penn State. I can't pronounce his name, but yeah.
You know, Danny, it's not even a name. You know who's going at 10 in this mock draft to the Falcons?
No.
JJ McCarthy.
It's interesting. His name's been popping up a lot in the first round as of late.
I mean, it's because he's a quarterback, obviously. But
they say he could be that quarterback that comes out of nowhere. If he has a big if he plays 2 big games and wins the Natty and declares, and then has a big combine pro day.
A lot of ifs.
Right. It's a lot of ifs.
I think Luck said he was the best prospect he's seen since Luck. I think
a couple people have said that. Take him at 5. Shock the world. Take him at 5. Take him at 5.
Can you do that?
Trade both the second round picks and Daniel Jones to the Saints for
your only other option is trading up with the Cardinals, which I don't know why.
I don't know why the Cardinals would move back.
Trade out, yeah.
If I'm the Cardinals and I end up with that 2nd overall pick, I'm drooling because I'm getting Marvin Harrison. Now Kyler's got no mouth.
Right. What's up there? You get Kyler a guy.
Here's the thing, though. Are you giving Kyler a guy? If the Bears have that 1st round pick, if their coaching staff stays the way it is, and they have that 1st round pick, that 1st overall pick from Carolina, do they finally say, Fields, this is your last chance. This is your guy. If you can't make this work, you're out.
Well, they would have to make their decision
earlier.
Because their options are you trade Fields or you
could trade Fields and get another inside the top 5 pick. He's still young enough that someone's going to be willing.
Well, like I said, I mentioned the Falcons earlier with Russ. They would probably trade the 10th pick for Fields. I don't see why.
You know who else may look to trade a pick for a 1st round pick for Fields? The Denver Broncos. Put him into Sean's system.
The Celtics are down 2, by the way.
Perfect.
Damn it! I forgot to
glad
put the money on.
15. I put $15 on the money line.
For the Celtics?
Yeah.
When I told you they were down 12?
Yep.
They're on?
Probably not.
No, it's on NBA TV. No, okay. I don't have that.
You can watch them all on HBO Max.
Well, if it's not a TNT game.
No, it's not.
I believe you could watch all NBA games on HBO Max. I think I
thought
saw
it was just a
something.
TNT game.
Or maybe it's just the.
Yeah, I think it's just TNT games.
We didn't make our pick for that Thursday night game.
I did.
I did. I did the
forgot.
Jets. I was wrong.
I haven't worked the over. It's not even worth it now. I took the Browns. Considering they're marching on the field again.
Yep. I just thought the Jets defense was going to show up.
The game is now tied, by the way. The basketball game.
Son of a bitch.
No,
Speaking of
I think Danny's right. Only the TNT games look like they are for every sport. There's hockey TNT and basketball TNT on here.
Yo, Deshaun Watson. The Browns go on to win the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson pulls a Jacob deGrom. That's gonna be hilarious. He gets a participation trophy.
Yes, he does.
That's an interesting spot. Does Cleveland make a move for a quarterback?
I would be very interested to know what. Well, I know his contract is fully guaranteed. I don't know what the cutting him part of it is, though.
I'm going into it right now. I'm waiting for
And it was only a 4-year deal, so he's only. Oh, it just started though.
This was year one.
This was year one. No, it was year two. The year one was the suspension.
The suspended year where he didn't get paid. That's right.
He didn't get right, correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
so if
that
they
has
cut
to be the
him,
worst. That has to be the worst.
Oh, that was going into this year. So going into next year. Okay, are you guys excited for this?
Danny, this is so funny.
What?
Are you excited for this? Oh my God! If they cut him pre-June 1st, $200 million dead cap.
But that's it. It's 1 year. They take it. They don't have a team, and that's it.
They basically have to play a dead cap. They forfeit the season.
June 1st. It's $155 million this year in 2024, and 44.
Okay, so there you go. Unless someone's willing to trade for him after June 1st, because that's the only one that makes sense. Because it's a $17 million dead cap hit if you trade him after June 1st.
You can't. They can't do anything. They're stuck.
I'd rather the $63 million cap hit every year.
Yeah, but no, who's going to take the rest of that contract? You have to.
He's also. You can also go to him and say, "Hey, we gotta restructure this. We'll give you an extra year because you were hurt, type of thing, and we're gotta cut your salary in half for the season." Do you want people to play on this team or do you not? We need to somehow figure out a way to keep Joe Flacco on our team. So we need to.
Funny. $200 million in dead cap. I've never seen something like that before.
That is definitely a number.
That's just fucking crazy, man.
Wow. That's insane. Okay. Anywho. All right. That game is tonight. Saturday night football. Cowboys at home, 6.5 against the Lions.
It's only
Cowboys
the third quarter
in the division.
Piston game.
Yeah. Elijah Moore revenge touchdown.
Easiest win in the history of the fucking in the history of betting. That was the easiest win.
I think the Lions cover.
Elijah Moore anytime touchdown tonight, Ben? Because he
the Celtics.
I was looking, and the Pistons play the Wizards in like 2 weeks, and they both have like 3 total wins on the season combined.
That should be interesting.
This is going to be fun. This is going to tell you a narrative because the big narrative has been Dallas can't win on the road against good teams, but now they're playing at home against a good team. So how are they going to act? How are they going to play?
And they beat Philly.
They did, but Philly proved that they're beatable over the last couple of weeks. Again, and I think it was you, Ben, that even said even last year they weren't like an impressive.
No, they never quite looked right until the playoffs, really.
Which could be their motto again this year. Let's not look right to the playoffs. I'm gonna take the Lions to cover this game. I think it's gonna be a close game.
It's a big number. Yeah, I agree.
Patriots are working their way out of a good draft pick, which is hilarious.
Actually won a couple of games. I feel like they'll cover. Nah, I'm gonna take the Bills.
Yeah, I got burned by the Bills last week, but screw it, I'm doing it again.
Wait a minute. The Vikings and Packers are the Sunday night football game this week?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
So exciting.
New Year's Eve night.
So we got
Jaron Hall will be starting for the Minnesota Vikings. So if you need a quarterback in your fantasy playoffs, pick him up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Tommy
the Bills to cover the game.
who is the Bryce Young,
Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr,
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
This week, TV wise, we have Dolphins Ravens at 1 o'clock on Channel 2.
Ooh, nice.
That's a good one.
We also get Cincinnati KC 4:25 on Channel 2. And then the Packers.
It's not going to be a good one. Instinctually, I thought it would be. Because I still got Joe Burrow on mind.
That kid's got a mullet. I'm in. I'm all in on the Browns. That's it. Kid and a mullet.
Somebody has a mullet?
Kid, there was a child and his whole head was shaved except for like in that back. It looked like Hulk Hogan. It
looked like Hulk Hogan.
Isn't it funny that like even last season you watch this Browns team and you're like, okay, how are they going to blow this game?
Not this year though.
And now they have Joe Flacco, so it's like, can you imagine Joe Flacco
they
goes
just
and wins the Cleveland Browns?
Grind you down for the most part.
And like we've been saying, they have a scary defense.
They do. Very good.
The Bears -2.5 at home, huh?
They've been winning.
There's no way Arthur Smith has a job at the end of the season, right? Like,
he shouldn't have had a job going into it.
and if he loses week 1, then he's out. Like, if you lose your first preseason game, you're out. You're out, guy. Anyway, I am gonna go with the Bears. They're playing well.
Yeah. I'm going Bears too.
I don't know how I feel about the Colts.
Everybody who plays in the South Division, I don't know how I feel about. All 8 of them.
And the Raiders' defense has been playing red hot.
I'm intrigued to see where Antonio lands if they don't hire him as a full-time head coach. Because I feel like he's going to land somewhere as a head coach.
He should definitely get interviews.
If he doesn't land with the Raiders, he should go to the Chargers and be like, "Yeah, I'm your coach. Let's go." And just walk out the door. Just be like, "I'm your head coach. We're going to beat the Raiders guaranteed twice a year. I don't care that I grew up in Oakland." 6.5, huh?
I'm taking the Rams.
Biggest prediction, Tommy DeVito's second quarter.
Oh, no.
Why do I say that? Why am I saying that?
Tyrod gets hurt again?
Aaron Donald's going to fall on Tyrod and his whole body's going to shatter. I do feel bad, though. It's this poor guy's ribs just... They got hurt once.
And JMS doesn't know how to pick up a simple stunt the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, he's going to die.
Oh, look, the Jets are punting again. Revenge game for the Cardinals coach, huh? The Cardinals are covering. That's what I'm going to say. 12.5 is a big number.
You're probably right about that, to be completely honest. Like we just talked about with the Eagles. I'm going to take the Cardinals, too. The Bucks. Baker's been slinging it lately.
Win
not just
and clinch the division at home against the Saints.
Yeah, they're being the Saints. They want to win the division.
Baker Mayfield, 3,598 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Killing it this year, man.
Crazy.
He's definitely played into a new contract in Tampa Bay. He should not leave that situation. If he is smart, he stays.
No, he's gonna
He
stay.
stays. If he's smart, he takes another contract and stays there. If he's stupid, he takes money and goes somewhere else because someone's going to pay him or offer him a ridiculous amount of money.
Falcons.
But then Jameis Wilson should call him and be like, trust me, don't leave Tampa. I did that for money.
Well, then again, it was also Tom Brady is why he did it.
That's true.
I would have still stayed
I
would have still stayed if I was Jameis behind Tom Brady. At least I could have learned something for 2 years. Right. Now you're sitting behind Derek Carr.
That's tough.
It's tough. Washington is going to absolutely roll on Washington.
I mean, I could see Washington being the team that gives Baker the big contract, and then he just goes back.
No. They're going after Caleb or May.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking one of them in the top 5.
New regime.
Whoever is on the board is.
Don't they have the 4th pick though right now?
3rd.
Oh, well, okay.
Listen, it's also a big offseason. It's the first
and
one.
He's also Caleb's a local guy, so they could also trade up to get him.
Okay.
New regime, they're gonna do something crazy, you know.
Well, Drake May goes to school not far from there.
True. But new regime, new GM, new coach. They're gonna do something nuts. Make a splash.
Probably not wrong. But I'm taking the Niners.
But on this week,
Chase
Young is going to go there and have 10 sacks.
Do you know that I forgot Chase Young was on the 49ers until he chased around Lamar Jackson the other night? And I was like, that just seems unfair.
That Lamar Jackson runs like that, or that Chase?
No, that the ref got in the way. That was really the unfair part. But no,
that clip of Smoot on the Jaguars chasing Lamar Jackson a couple weeks ago, and then gets him to the ground after he threw the ball likely, and you could see him mouth, "How did you do that?"
Yeah,
like
he's a fucking magician, that dude.
Listen, Lamar's got to show up next month. That's what matters at this point for him.
But yeah, he's probably gonna win another MVP. But
definitely deserves it.
He definitely deserves the MVP. But again,
the AFC is very vulnerable right now.
It is a walk for the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion. The only team that can give them trouble, the Cleveland Browns defense.
That's what I'm saying. The Browns would be the hardest fight for them right now, I think.
Oh, Flacco goes to Baltimore in the AFC Championship game. Oh,
I need a Joe Flacco against the Ravens. I need a Stafford against the Lions. I want revenge all over the place.
Yeah, but which would be the bigger upset? I believe it would be the Browns beating Baltimore. It would be a much bigger upset.
Give me a Bucs-Browns Super Bowl.
People would kill themselves.
Going back. But you know what? It's one of those things like I said this about the Diamondbacks. If the Diamondbacks won last year, the whole season's who gives a shit? It's like, what was that? If it's a Browns-Bucs Super Bowl, the season doesn't count. It's like, all right, the season's null and void. Whatever happens, whatever. Nobody gets fired for anything, and we forget it happened.
We run it back. Yeah. We try it again.
That doesn't count. That was an aberration. That was a figment of our imagination.
Are you guys excited for the Tommy Pham reunion?
Please no. Tommy Pham left, and every time they asked him, they were like,
"Shit on the
You're
Mets.
in the World Series. How does it feel?" And he's like, "Yeah, it feels great. But that team I was on, man, they fucking sucked. They're all lazy. They don't want to play baseball." Like every time he talked, he just shitted on the Mets.
And like 2 weeks after he got to Arizona, he almost fought the guy in San Diego, like 2 rows behind the.
You know what really has annoyed me? This is obviously a tangent. The Mets could really use a pitcher with the statistical prowess of Marcus Stroman right now, and it's just not an option. Like if you just take the name off and it was just Chuck Smith, give me him. But he's just such a pain in the ass.
So this is a 1995 introduction rematch, huh? So
Yeah.
here's a fun fact: the Jaguars' original logo was the same as the car, and there was a lawsuit, and which
And
is
they
why they
lost.
have the angry Jaguar now face.
Yeah,
No, they
I like
settled
it
on
better.
changing the logo instead of a
Yeah, I
lawsuit.
like it better.
And did you guys know that the tongue is teal? The reason the tongue is teal on the Jaguar logo is because they're biting the Panthers teal and chewing them because they're better than the other team that came into the league the same year.
That's just dumb. The
Oh,
Jets just
Flacco.
returned a interception for a touchdown. Maybe it's not over. I'm taking the Jaguars.
I'm doing Jaguars. They look like dog shit, but the Panthers have been.
Who's playing
not
quarterback for them this week?
I haven't
I
heard.
think he's Lawrence has been playing.
They
now.
signed Barkley.
That's right, practice squad. Yeah.
But I think
No,
he
they
played
signed him to the
last
active
week.
roster.
Oh, they did they? Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's different.
Trevor Lawrence has not missed a game.
Trevor Lawrence.
No,
is
he's
probably
been.
missing.
Yeah.
He's on the field, whether he's playing good or not. He's on the
field.
field.
He should really have taken a couple games off, but
he really should have, because they have scored 7 points and 12 points since that game, since the Brown game happened where they lost. They've also lost 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Gardner Minshew is about to win the AFC South. That's all you got to know about.
Gardner Minshew, that mustache, man.
Well, CJ's back this week, so
he
gives the Texans back an outside shot of winning the division. Outside.
I mean, they should.
You're 1 and 2 seeded. The Dolphins could jump into the number 1 seed right here.
That is true. They're not going to win. They can.
They're not going to go to Baltimore and win. So.
Oh, I don't think they will. I agree. I don't think they will. I think they stink.
Texans. Titans.
Texans.
That's another spot that should have a head coaching position open.
The Titans? I don't know. I think that dude's got a job for a while.
Yeah, they're not firing Vrabel. And then if he does, he's going straight to New England.
He's the reason they fucking, have had the 5 wins they have.
All right.
I don't know. It's just I feel like his time is over.
No,
he's going straight to New England,
right?
If that's
and becoming the head coach.
He'll become the defensive McDaniels until Belichick leaves, and then he's actually going to take over.
He's probably going to take over next season. They may just say, here's a job, buddy. The Steelers stink. So give me the Seahawks.
That's just a fact. But yet they won last week and they're 8-7. It makes no sense.
It made no sense.
He's going to finish over 5. If he needs one more win, he finishes
5
over
wins
500.
every time.
Talking about a guy who can never get fired. Tomlin.
But he doesn't deserve to get fired. That team, that roster is a disaster. George Pickens just wants to fight everybody, and they win 8 games.
He's either not blocking or about to fight someone.
Yeah. Or
putting up 70 points in fantasy.
Crazy yards the other day. He had like a Randy Moss line. He had 3 catches for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Broncos. Actually, wait.
I don't
Easton
know.
Stick versus who?
Jarrett Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. Can I punt this game?
I'm going. Yeah,
Broncos at home.
Give me the home team, I guess.
425. Give him the Chiefs at home.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, that's Chiefs. A lot of points the way the Chiefs have played.
Yep.
This is the week that the Chiefs are going to be like, all right, we got to start playing better, boys.
You really think so? It's been a month.
Yes. No, after last week, you don't lose to the Raiders.
We've been saying that for the last month, though.
We've been saying that since he fucking blew up on the sideline a month ago.
Worst
if-
game of the weekend. That's not what I wanted to do. You're telling me nobody else wanted to flex out of this shit?
Well, what game would you have flexed?
Cincinnati, KC,
Ravens, Dolphins.
Ravens, Dolphins.
Yeah,
But CBS
If the
probably
Titans had
protected.
another win, I would have put the Titans in there.
yeah.
Bucks
They
Saints is for the
definitely
division.
blocked. CBS definitely blocked the Dolphins.
You would think.
Give me the Colts or Raiders. Jesus Christ.
Just take the Vikings
Cowboys,
and shut up. All right.
No,
Cowboys, Lions.
they're the Saturday night.
Oh,
on
that's right. They're
ESPN.
Saturday night. That's right. My bad. My fault. I mean, if you
Yep.
could flex Mondays, you should be able to flex Saturdays. I could see that happening in the future. Oh, they're actually smart not playing Monday night this week. I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
That was the reason.
You're not
they
going
do
against
that.
the college football playoffs.
Well, that and it's
Right.
ESPN on ESPN Crime, so that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. The college football games are on ESPN.
They announced where game day is going for the day.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd assume California.
You would
I would
think.
assume so.
I would got to think Herb Street's calling California, right?
Yeah, probably.
Are they both on ABC? Both games are ABC, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an 8 and a 5, so
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
5 and then 8:30, and then they'll just wait. They'll what's called end game will end like it did last year.
The answer is
They'll go at midnight.
midnight.
neither game is on ABC.
They're both on
ESPN?
ESPN.
They're
Oh,
both on ESPN.
okay.
ESPN, ESPNU, ESPN2.
That means they'll have all the other coverage of games like they always do. The alternative broadcast.
and ESPN News.
They'll be like
also
the home
have-
team coverage.
They'll have the
road
stats,
team.
the stats coverage. They'll have the McAfee edition. I'm sure.
Right.
You can get into the Sugar Bowl for as low as $172 right now.
Wow.
Skycast
Skycast.
is one. Command Center is another. Field Pass with McAfee. Even the SEC network will be showing. Oh, the SEC network is showing Alabama radio on the SEC network.
Right.
Come on, Big Ten does not have the game on the Big Ten network. I am going to take the Packers to win this game, Vincent.
You're the only one.
But I'm going to take 38 points. Packers to win. 38 points. That's what I'm going with.
Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit are calling the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
And Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy have the Sugar Bowl. In this specific
Can't have Greg
situation,
McElroy call Alabama.
They probably wish. Well, they
Can't
announced
have
that
Greg
on.
McElroy call Alabama. That's
I
bias.
think they announced this on the 7th. Were the games ready at that moment? I don't know. This is from the 7th. Yeah, the games were. I think it was.
Yeah,
set
it was like
already,
the 5th
right?
or 6th that it was announced.
Yep. Well, it just
Right.
their number one team was going to go to that game anyway.
Yeah, but you can't have McElroy call the road. Can't have him call Bama. It's bias. It's like all those years of listening to Troy Aikman not be biased for the Cowboys.
Can I be completely honest? I miss Buck and Aikman as the 4:00 Sunday game. Just doesn't sound right without them.
I like Burkhart.
He's fine. I like the other dude and Moose Johnston better.
Kenny Albert.
Joe Davis.
Is it Joe Davis? Oh, no, that was back in the... It used to be
It used to be Kenny Albert.
Kenny Albert with the Moose and the Goose.
Right. Now it's Darryl Johnston and Joe Davis, who's the baseball guy. He's very good. I like him.
Right. He did the Giant game.
Correct.
Does Kenny Albert still call games? No.
Yeah, he
he's
does
got-
it with
he
Velma.
make-
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
was
right.
Velma.
That guy makes a shit ton of money.
Yep. And then Olsen is with Burkhart.
Between that, the head of the number one guy in TNT for hockey.
Kenny Albert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does
Brown just
Ranger
scored-
Radio, right, Danny?
Yeah, and then LaGreco fills in for him, and then he does the Friday night Nick games.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, he's all over the place.
He doesn't do Nick. Who does Nick Radio?
They've been flipping around, so I don't know.
So it's just pick a guy out of the street and go, okay, can you...
I know Alan Hahn has done a few, LaGreca's done a few, and then
The bing bong guy.
I tried listening to a basketball game on the radio once, and I was like, I don't even know who has the ball anymore.
Yeah, I'm never out during a Nick game, so.
Gary Cohen does basketball sometimes.
Yeah,
but
does
like,
Seton Hall.
Yeah.
Fills in for Danny's cousin.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a happy and healthy, safe new year. Big things in 2024. Fidget spinners are coming back.
They're coming back.
I actually found my old one at my desk today. I started.
Danny, Finn was literally fidget spinner when he literally opened the thing, and this was right next to me. So
I was looking for tape, and this was in the drawer with the tape.
Yeah, that's what happened with me today.
That's just the day of finding fidget spinner.
Yeah, it's chilling on my desk.
Yeah. All right.
Bringing it back, boys. Bringing it back. 2024 fidget spinners. Back.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.